It's a familiar scene. The TV is blaring, and you're repeating yourself constantly. Yet your parent insists, "I can hear just fine." But what if this is more than just stubbornness? What if it's masking a risk factor for something severe, like dementia? And the dangers don't stop there. Research shows even mild, untreated hearing loss can triple their risk of a serious fall. This is a hidden epidemic. A staggering 75% of older adults who need hearing aids go without them. We will now uncover the psychology behind the denial, the hidden dangers, and effective strategies to finally address it. So, why the denial? It begins with a basic human defense mechanism. They aren't lying. They often blame external factors. A deep-seated stigma exists. For many, hearing loss is unconsciously linked to getting old or appearing weak. Biologically, age-related hearing loss is incredibly gradual. They genuinely don't notice the day-to-day change. They just adapt. The condition is also invisible, with no outward signs. This makes it easy for them, and even us, to downplay its severity. But the single biggest driver is the fear of losing control. To many aging parents, admitting hearing loss is the first domino to fall. It represents a potential loss of driving, of living alone, of making their own choices. This is an existential threat to their identity. Understanding this fear explains their actions. It clarifies why they get defensive or insist the problem is you. They are protecting their independence. This fear is compounded by old ideas about solutions. They picture bulky, whistling hearing aids. But is that accurate? We'll reveal the truth soon. This denial, driven by fear and myth, has devastating real-world consequences. First, the social world begins to shrink. Group conversations become exhausting. They start avoiding restaurants and family events, leading to profound isolation. This isolation can fuel a mental health crisis. The strain is directly linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, and frustration, and it harms family relationships. Misunderstandings become common, patience wears thin, and the quality of your connection degrades. The social and emotional tolls are bad enough, but the silent physical dangers are what make this so urgent. Let's revisit that link from the start. Untreated hearing loss is a major risk factor for dementia. The brain works overtime just to process sound. This is called cognitive load. This diverts mental resources from memory. At the same time, brain areas for sound can atrophy from underuse, accelerating cognitive decline. Remember the tripled risk of falls? That happens because the inner ear is key for balance, and the brain is too overloaded to focus on awareness. On top of all this, the denial is expensive. Seniors with untreated hearing loss have 46% higher total healthcare costs on average. So let's connect these pieces. We have a deep fear, a cascade of social costs, and life-altering physical risks. What does this mean together? The central irony is this. Your parents' denial is driven by a fear of losing their independence. Yet, isolation, falls, depression, and cognitive decline are all direct threats to that very independence. Their inaction causes what they fear most. And that outdated image of hearing aids? It's completely wrong. Modern devices are nearly invisible and focus on speech clarity, so the refusal is based on a profound fear, reinforced by a completely outdated myth about the solution. This is the cycle to break. Understanding this cycle is the key to changing the conversation. So, how do you approach this without triggering their defenses? First, normalize it. Frame a hearing test as a routine health checkup. Dad, you get your eyes checked. Let's get a baseline for your hearing. Second, make it about us, not you. Instead of saying, "You can't hear," try, "I feel like we're getting disconnected. I miss our talks." This shifts the focus from their deficit to your relationship. It reframes getting help as an act of love for the family, not an admission of weakness. Third, frame treatment as a way to regain control. Addressing hearing loss preserves independence by keeping them engaged and mentally sharp. We've seen that this denial is rooted in a deep fear of losing independence, and how it tragically increases the very risks that steal it. This conversation is difficult, but vital. The goal isn't simply adjusting volume, it's preserving their connection to the world and to you. Share this video with someone who needs to see it. And in the comments, tell us about your experience. Starting this conversation can change a life.